The locker slammed shut with a metallic clang that echoed through the empty hallway of Lincoln High School in suburban Chicago. But it wasn't the sound that made my heart race. It was the shadow looming behind me. Jake Harlan, the star quarterback and my next-door neighbor since we were kids, grabbed my backpack strap and yanked me around to face him, his blue eyes blazing with that familiar mix of anger and something I could never quite place. "Freak!" he snarled, shoving me against the cold metal. And in that moment, as pain shot through my shoulder, I wondered if this was the day he'd finally break me for good. I was Dalton Rivera, the quiet kid who preferred books to football and kept my secrets buried deep. Growing up in our tidy neighborhood, Jake and I had played together as boys, building forts in his backyard, racing bikes down the street, until middle school hit and everything changed. Puberty brought out the differences. I realized I liked boys, while Jake became the golden boy, surrounded by cheerleaders and jocks who worshipped him. But the bullying started small, a shove here, a whispered slur there, and escalated by junior year. That afternoon, after he'd cornered me, his friends laughed from the end of the hall, egging him on. "What's the matter, Dalton? Gonna cry to your mommy?" Jake taunted, his voice low and venomous. I didn't respond. I never did. Instead, I fixed my gaze on the floor, counting the tiles until they left. Home was no escape. Our houses shared a fence, and from my bedroom window, I could see into Jake's room where he'd blast music or pace angrily after games. His parents were the picture-perfect couple. His dad a stern cop, his mom a homemaker who baked cookies for the block parties. Mine were divorced. Dad lived across town, and Mom worked double shifts as a nurse, leaving me to fend for myself. One night, after a particularly brutal day where Jake had accidentally tripped me in the cafeteria, spilling my lunch everywhere, I sat on my porch staring at the stars. The front door next door creaked open, and there was Jake, sneaking out with a backpack. Our eyes met across the lawns, and for a split second his tough facade cracked. Regret? Fear? But he turned away, hopping on his bike and pedaling into the darkness. School became a battlefield. Jake's taunts weren't just physical. He spread rumors that I was that way, isolating me from potential friends. In English class, we'd been paired for a project on Shakespeare, and while I pored over Romeo and Juliet, analyzing the themes of forbidden love, Jake barely showed up. "Why do you even care about this gay stuff?" he sneered during our one meeting at the library. I bit back a retort, focusing on the words instead. Star-crossed lovers doomed by society. Ironically, it mirrored my life, crushing on straight guys from afar, knowing it'd never happen. But Jake's hostility felt personal, like he was fighting something inside himself. His friends, like Mike and Tyler, followed his lead, but I noticed Jake hesitating sometimes, pulling back when things got too rough. The turning point came during homecoming week. The school buzzed with excitement, decorations, pep rallies, the big game. I avoided it all, hiding in the art room sketching portraits to escape. One evening, as I walked home alone, Jake's truck pulled up beside me. "Get in," he ordered, his voice gruff. Confused and scared, I complied, sliding into the passenger seat. We drove in silence to a deserted park on the outskirts of town. "Why do you hate me?" I finally asked, my voice trembling. He gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. "I don't hate you, Dalton. I don't know." His admission hung in the air, thick with unspoken truths. For the first time, I saw vulnerability in his eyes, the pressure from his dad to be the perfect son, the fear of not fitting in. We talked for hours about school, family, the weight of expectations. As the sun set, he dropped me off, muttering, "Don't tell anyone." But secrets have a way of festering. The next day at school, Jake ignored me, but the bullying stopped, at least from him. His friends noticed, whispering behind his back. I caught snippets. "What's up with you and the queer kid?" Jake laughed it off, but tension built. In the locker room after practice, I overheard an argument. Mike accusing Jake of going soft. "You're defending him now? What, you one of them too?" The words stung even from afar. That night, from my window, I saw Jake punching his pillow in frustration, tears streaming down his face. My heart ached. Maybe we weren't so different after all. As winter approached, A school assembly on bullying brought everything to a head. The speaker shared stories of victims and perpetrators, emphasizing empathy. Jake sat rigid in the audience, avoiding my gaze. Afterward, in the hallway, he pulled me aside. "I'm sorry," he whispered, the words barely audible. "For everything." I nodded, too stunned to speak. But apologies don't erase scars, and I wondered if forgiveness was possible. Our neighborhood Christmas lights twinkled that evening, casting a warm glow over the snow. Jake's house hosted the annual party, and Mom dragged me along. In the crowded living room, Jake approached, handing me a mug of cocoa. "Truce?" he asked, a tentative smile breaking through. I took it, feeling a spark of hope amid the chaos. Yet high school drama doesn't end with one conversation. Rumors swirled that Jake was questioning his sexuality, fueled by his sudden change. His dad overheard and exploded one night. I heard the yelling through the walls. "No son of mine is gonna be like that." The next day, Jake showed up at school with a black eye, claiming a football injury. My concern grew. I slipped a note into his locker. "Talk to me." He did, meeting me at the park again. "My dad's old school," he confessed. "Thinks being gay is a choice, a weakness." Tears welled in his eyes. "But Dalton, I think I might be." The admission shattered the barriers between us. We shared stories, my coming out to Mom, his hidden crushes on guys in movies. For the first time, I felt seen not as a victim but as an equal. Spring brought prom, the ultimate test. Jake asked a girl to keep up appearances, but his eyes lingered on me during the dance. In a quiet moment outside, under the stars, he pulled me close. "I wish things were different," he murmured. Our hands brushed, a forbidden touch that sent electricity through me. But society's chains held tight. His fear of rejection, my scars from the past. As graduation loomed, I wondered if we'd ever break free. Graduation day arrived like a storm cloud lifting. The auditorium filled with cheers and tossed caps at Lincoln High. Jake and I walked across the stage separately, but our eyes met in the crowd, a silent promise hanging between us. That summer, with college on the horizon, our neighborhood felt smaller, the fence between our houses a mere suggestion rather than a barrier. I got a job at the local bookstore, stacking shelves and recommending novels to escape the Midwest heat. Jake worked at his dad's garage, grease-streaked and brooding. Evenings brought us together, sneaking to the park, sharing ice cream cones, talking about dreams. "I'm going to NYU for film," I said one night, lying on the grass. "New York? That's huge," Jake replied, envy in his voice. He was staying local, community college for business, pressured by his father. "Dad wants me to take over the family business someday." His tone was resigned, but his hand found mine in the dark, fingers intertwining tentatively. Our budding connection sparked conflicts. Jake's friends noticed his absences, grilling him at barbecues. "Ditching us for that Rivera kid?" Tyler joked, but the edge was sharp. Jake deflected, but tension mounted. One afternoon, I overheard his dad on the phone. "Jake's acting strange, hanging with that boy next door. Hope he's not turning funny." My stomach twisted. The societal whispers were closing in. At home, Mom was supportive but cautious. "Be careful, Dalton. Not everyone's as open-minded." Her words echoed my fears. Small-town America wasn't always kind to guys like us. A road trip changed everything. Jake suggested we drive to Lake Michigan for a weekend, just to clear our heads. We packed his truck with snacks and sleeping bags, blasting rock music on the highway. At the beach, waves crashing under a sunny sky, we built sandcastles like old times. "Remember when we were kids?" Jake laughed, splashing water at me. In the evening, by a campfire, he opened up. "The bullying. It was because I liked you, Dalton. Even back then. But I was scared, so I lashed out." His confession hit like a wave, washing away years of hurt. I forgave him, not easily but honestly. "It hurt, Jake, but I get it now." We shared our first kiss that night, tentative and sweet, under the stars. No fireworks, just real, raw emotion. Back home, reality crashed down. Jake's dad found a text on his phone from me, innocuous but telling. The confrontation was explosive. "You're not gay," Mr. Harlan shouted, voice booming through the neighborhood. Jake stood his ground for the first time. "I am, Dad, and I'm in love with Dalton." The words hung heavy. His father stormed out, leaving Jake shattered. He showed up at my door, eyes red. He kicked me out. Mom welcomed him in, offering the couch. That night, we talked till dawn, about family rejection, the pain of coming out in a conservative town. College separated us physically but not emotionally. I moved to New York, immersing in the vibrant LGBTQ scene, while Jake stayed behind, working and attending classes. We texted daily, video calls bridging the miles. But distance bred doubts. Jake faced backlash at school. Slurs in the hallways, friends distancing themselves. "It's like high school all over again," he confided. I encouraged him to join a support group, but his pride held him back. Meanwhile, in the city, I met new people, including a charming guy named Ethan at a campus event. He was out and proud, no baggage from the past. Temptation flickered, but loyalty to Jake won out. Holiday break brought us together. Returning home, I found Jake changed, stronger, but weary. His dad had softened slightly, allowing visits, but tension lingered. At the neighborhood New Year's party, old wounds reopened. Mike, drunk and belligerent, cornered Jake. "So it's true? You're with him now?" The room fell silent. Jake nodded defiantly. "Yeah, I am." Fists flew. A brawl ensued. I pulled Jake away, blood trickling from his lip. Outside, he broke down. "Why is it so hard, Dalton? Why can't they just accept us?" The incident sparked community debate. Local news picked up the story, a high school hero coming out, facing violence. Support poured in from unexpected places. Teachers, neighbors who'd suspected but stayed silent. But opposition was fierce. Protests at church, anonymous hate mail. Jake's mom mediated, urging his dad to reconsider. "He's our son," she pleaded. Slowly, cracks formed in Mr. Harlan's armor. A therapy session later, he admitted his fears stemmed from his own upbringing. As spring semester began, Jake surprised me by applying to transfer to a New York school. "I want to be with you," he said over the phone. Excitement bubbled, but challenges loomed. In the city, we'd face urban prejudices, homophobia in subtler forms like judgmental stares or workplace discrimination. I worried about Jake adapting, leaving his roots behind. Our first visit together in New York was magical. Walking hand in hand through Central Park, no one batted an eye. We visited gay bars, danced without fear. But reality intruded. Jake's scholarship fell through, forcing him to work part-time. Money was tight, straining our relationship. Arguments flared, about finances, jealousy over my new friends. "You fit here, Dalton. I feel like an outsider," he admitted one night. A pivotal moment came at Pride Parade. Surrounded by rainbows and cheers, Jake marched with me, holding a sign, "Love wins." Tears streamed down his face, release from years of suppression. But back home, his dad called, offering reconciliation if Jake toned it down. The ultimatum tore at him: family or authenticity. Jake chose authenticity, but the decision rippled through our lives like a stone in a pond. Back in Chicago for summer break, he confronted his father head-on. "I won't hide who I am," he declared in their living room, voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. Mr. Harlan's face reddened, but instead of exploding, he sighed. "I don't understand it, son, but I don't want to lose you." It wasn't full acceptance, but a start. Awkward family dinners followed, with stilted conversations about weather instead of feelings. In New York, Jake enrolled in community college, crashing on my dorm couch until he found a roommate. The city overwhelmed him at first. Subway crowds, endless noise, but he adapted, landing a job at a coffee shop. Our relationship deepened amid the chaos. Lazy Sundays in bed reading, exploring museums, sharing dreams. "I want to coach football someday," Jake confessed. "But for kids like us, out and proud." I supported him, enrolling in writing classes to channel our story into fiction. Social conflicts escalated, though. At a campus party, a group of frat guys overheard us talking and hurled slurs. "Fairies don't belong here." Jake tensed, ready to fight, but I pulled him away. "Not worth it," I whispered. The incident shook us, highlighting that even in progressive cities, hate lingered. We joined an LGBTQ alliance, advocating for safer spaces, but it stirred controversy. A conservative student group protested, claiming special treatment. Debates raged in the school paper. Was visibility pushing too far? Personal doubts crept in. Jake struggled with identity. Years of repression left scars. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm really gay, or if it's just you," he admitted during a late-night walk. The words stung, echoing my own insecurities from high school. Was our love built on trauma? Therapy helped. We attended sessions together, unpacking baggage. The counselor challenged us. "Forgiveness is ongoing. Can you let go of the past?" Family visits amplified tensions. My mom flew in, embracing Jake like a son, but his parents' trip was fraught. At dinner in a cozy Italian spot, Mr. Harlan grilled me. "What do your folks think of all this?" I answered honestly, "Mom's supportive. Dad, we're working on it." The evening ended civilly, but Jake's mom pulled me aside. "He's happier with you. Thank you." Yet, whispers from extended family reached us. Aunts clucking about phases. Uncles warning of eternal damnation. A career opportunity tested our bond. I landed an internship at a publishing house, demanding long hours. Jake felt neglected, his own classes suffering. "You're pulling away," he accused one evening after I'd canceled plans. Hurt turned to anger. We shouted about priorities, old wounds reopening. "You bullied me for years. How do I know this won't end badly?" I hurled. He stormed out, sleeping at a friend's. The next day, flowers arrived with a note. "I'm sorry. Let's fight for us." Reconciliation brought growth. We volunteered at a youth center for LGBTQ teens, sharing our story. One kid, a bullied freshman, reminded me of myself. "How did you survive?" he asked. Jake answered, "By finding someone who saw the real me." But controversy arose when parents complained about promoting homosexuality. The center faced funding cuts, sparking protests. We marched, signs high. "Love isn't a choice, hate is." Media coverage amplified our voices, but backlash followed. Online trolls, threatening emails. As fall turned to winter, Jake's transfer to my university was approved. Excitement mingled with anxiety. Cohabitation meant constant proximity. Our first apartment was tiny, a walk-up in Brooklyn, but it felt like home. Decorating with photos from our journey, from awkward childhood snaps to recent selfies, reminded us of progress. Yet, societal pressures persisted. At a holiday party, a colleague quipped, "So, who's the woman in the relationship?" The stereotype irked us, fueling a deeper discussion about gender roles in gay couples. A health scare united us. Jake twisted his ankle playing pickup basketball, landing in the ER. Waiting anxiously, I realized how deeply I loved him. Not despite the past, but because of our shared resilience. "You're my family," I told him as he hobbled out on crutches. The incident prompted him to reconnect with his dad, who visited unexpectedly. Over coffee, Mr. Harlan admitted, "I was wrong. Seeing you happy, that's what matters." But happiness invited envy. Old friends from Chicago resurfaced, including Tyler, now apologetic. "I was an idiot back then." Jake forgave him, but I struggled, memories vivid. At a reunion barbecue, Tyler's offhand joke about our bromance gone wrong triggered me. "It wasn't funny," I snapped. The group fell silent, debates ensuing. Was humor a coping mechanism, or perpetuating harm? Our story inspired others. A local blogger interviewed us for a piece on redemption in relationships. "From bully to boyfriend, how does that work?" she asked. We shared honestly. Communication, therapy, time. The article went viral, drawing praise and criticism. Supporters hailed it as hopeful. Detractors called it toxic, arguing bullies don't deserve second chances. The controversy divided online communities, with polls asking, "Can past abusers truly change?" As the year closed, we planned a trip home for Christmas. Nerves jangled. Would family fully accept us? On the plane, Jake squeezed my hand. "Whatever happens, we're in this together." The words fortified me, a testament to our evolution. Christmas in Chicago blanketed the neighborhood in snow, transforming familiar streets into a winter wonderland. But the chill extended to family dynamics. Jake's parents welcomed us with forced smiles, the tree twinkling as if to compensate for unspoken tensions. Dinner was a minefield. His dad asked about our roommate situation, eyebrows raised. "We're together, Dad," Jake clarified firmly. Silence followed, broken by his mom's cheerful toast. To new beginnings. The visit unearthed buried conflicts. Extended family gathered, aunts probing. "So, no grandkids from you too?" The question, laced with disappointment, stung. Jake deflected with humor, but I felt the weight of societal expectations. Marriage equality existed, but traditional views lingered. Later in bed he whispered, "They mean well, but it hurts." We clung to each other, finding solace in shared vulnerability. Back in New York, professional hurdles arose. My internship turned full-time, but office politics revealed subtle homophobia. A boss overlooking me for promotions, citing fit. Jake encouraged a complaint, but fear held me back. "We've fought worse," he urged. Filing it sparked an investigation, dividing colleagues. Some supportive, others resentful. The drama mirrored broader workplace debates on LGBTQ rights. Jake's coaching dream took shape. He volunteered at a high school, mentoring queer athletes. But controversy erupted when parents discovered his orientation. "I don't want my son influenced," one complained to the principal. Protests followed, petitions circulating. Jake stood firm at a school board meeting. "I'm here to teach sports, not sexuality. But hiding who I am teaches kids shame." Applause mixed with boos. The board sided with inclusion, but the battle scarred him. Our relationship faced its biggest test. Infidelity rumors. A jealous ex-friend from Chicago messaged me anonymously, claiming Jake cheated during our brief separation. Doubt gnawed. I confronted him tearfully. "It's a lie, Dalton. I'd never." Proof emerged. The sender was Tyler, bitter over lost friendship. The betrayal reopened old wounds. How can I trust after everything? Therapy sessions intensified, exploring forgiveness limits. Healing came through activism. We organized a community event on bullying's long-term effects, inviting survivors. Sharing our story publicly was cathartic, but backlash was swift. Conservative media labeled us agenda pushers. Online forums debated, is promoting gay relationships in schools appropriate? Support groups rallied, but exhaustion set in. "Sometimes I wonder if it's worth it," Jake admitted. A surprise proposal shifted focus. On our anniversary, in Central Park under blooming cherry blossoms, Jake knelt. "From the boy who hurt you to the man who loves you, will you marry me?" Tears flowed. I said yes. Planning the wedding ignited family drama. Jake's dad agreed to attend but balked at walking him down the aisle. "That's for daughters." The tradition debate divided us. Uphold norms or redefine them. Venue hunting revealed discrimination. Some places booked, upon learning it was a gay wedding. We chose an inclusive garden, inviting a mix of friends. But invitations sparked rifts. Some relatives declined, citing beliefs. Jake's aunt wrote, "Love the sinner, hate the sin." The rejection crushed him, prompting a heartfelt call. "I respect your views, but this is my life." As the big day approached, pre-wedding jitters amplified. I dreamed of high school taunts, waking in sweat. Jake soothed me. "We're stronger now." Bachelor parties were low-key, mine with city friends, his virtual with old teammates. Tyler crashed the call, apologizing sincerely. "I was wrong. Happy for you." Forgiveness felt liberating, but skeptics online questioned, "Can you really marry your bully?" The wedding day dawned bright. Vows exchanged amid tears. I choose you, flaws and all. Cheers erupted, but not without hitches. A protester outside shouting slurs, quickly escorted away. The reception buzzed with joy, dances blending families. Mr. Harlan raised a glass. To my son and his husband. I'm learning. Progress imperfect but real. Honeymoon in Hawaii offered respite. Beaches, sunsets, uninterrupted us. But returning home, reality intruded. Adoption discussions. We wanted kids, but societal barriers loomed. Agencies favoring straight couples, debates on gay parenting. Friends shared horror stories. Denied applications, judgmental caseworkers. Are 2 dads enough? Critics argued online. Career advancements brought balance. Jake landed a full-time coaching gig at a progressive school. I published a short story based on our journey. Reviews praised its raw emotion, but detractors called it propaganda. The duality exhausted us, but love sustained. A family crisis tested resilience. Jake's mom fell ill, requiring surgery. We rushed home, supporting through recovery. In hospital waits, bonds strengthened. His dad confided fears. Admitting change was hard but necessary. Seeing you too. It's love, plain and simple. As years blurred, our story became a beacon. Speaking at conferences, we emphasized choice. To forgive, to change, to love despite odds. But questions lingered, fueling endless debates. Settled into married life, our Brooklyn apartment became a sanctuary amid New York's hustle, filled with laughter, shared meals, and the occasional argument over chores. Jake's coaching career flourished. He led his team to state championships, mentoring kids on resilience both on and off the field. I advanced in publishing, editing LGBTQ narratives that echoed our own. But success invited scrutiny. A profile in a national magazine dubbed us the redemption couple, sparking podcasts debating our validity. Parenthood loomed large. After years of applications, we adopted twin boys, Miguel and Diego, from foster care. The process was grueling. Home studies, interviews probing our stability. Critics online railed, kids need a mom and dad, but supporters countered with studies on thriving same-sex families. The boys arrived, chubby-cheeked and curious, transforming us. Jake, once the tough quarterback, melted reading bedtime stories. I captured moments in journals, chronicling our unconventional family. Community involvement deepened conflicts. We advocated for anti-bullying laws, testifying in state legislatures. My husband was my bully, I shared, voice steady. Gasps rippled. Questions flew. How could you marry him? Jake added, change is possible with accountability. Bills passed in some states, but opposition mounted, religious groups claiming moral erosion. Protests outside our events turned ugly, with signs reading, protect our children from perversion. Personal growth continued through therapy. We unpacked lingering resentments. My flashbacks to shoves, Jake's guilt over lost years. I stole your confidence, he lamented. Forgiving fully meant accepting imperfections, a daily choice. Our boys taught us anew. Their innocent questions about 2 daddies prompted honest talks on diversity. A reunion with high school classmates stirred old ghosts. At the 10-year event in Chicago, whispers followed us. Mike approached, sober now. You 2 proved us wrong. But not all were kind. A former cheerleader sneered. It's unnatural. The evening devolved into heated discussions on evolution versus tradition. Jake and I left early, hands clasped, reaffirming our path. Media opportunities amplified our voice. A documentary crew followed us, capturing raw moments. Family dinners, advocacy marches, quiet evenings. Released to acclaim, it won awards but ignited backlash, boycotts, death threats. Heroes or hazards? Headlines blared. Online polls divided. 60% inspired, 40% appalled. The exposure strained our privacy. Paparazzi hounded us, forcing a move to a quieter suburb. Aging parents brought reconciliation full circle. Mr. Harlan, now retired, bonded with the grandkids over fishing trips. Never thought I'd see this. he admitted, eyes misty. Jake's mom, recovered, baked with the boys, sharing recipes and stories. My dad, remarried, visited sporadically but warmed, attending birthday parties. Family redefined itself, blending blood and choice. Yet societal shifts weren't uniform. A Supreme Court case on LGBTQ rights hung in the balance, rallies drawing us in. We spoke at one, boys in tow, for their future. Counter-protesters chanted hate, a stark reminder of unfinished work. Home that night, Jake held me. We've come far, but the fight continues. Our story inspired a book deal, my memoir, From Foe to Forever. Writing it was cathartic, detailing emotions raw and real. Reviews praised its honesty, but critics argued it romanticized abuse. Book tours sparked panels. Does love conquer all, or enable harm? Audiences split, fueling passionate exchanges. As the boys started school, new challenges emerged. Peers teased them about no mom, echoing our past. We addressed it head-on, volunteering in classrooms to normalize diverse families. But a parent's complaint led to a meeting. Is this appropriate for kids? The principal supported us, but the incident highlighted ongoing bias. Reflecting on our journey, from hallway shoves to wedding vows, bullying to bonding, gratitude swelled. Jake, my first love, evolved from tormentor to partner, proving change's power. Yet, doubts persisted in quiet moments. Had society truly progressed, or merely tolerated? In the end, after all the drama and debates, one question remains. Is it right to forgive a former bully and build a life together? Or does doing so undermine the pain of victims everywhere?